So one indices, it can come down to 50% of the range, but it doesn't trade that much higher, right? Because there's a difference of strength between the pairs, right? Now the other one, the other one, let's say that's the high and the low somewhere down here. The other one doesn't get to 50%, but because it's much stronger than the other one, it just takes off. But you have this one already came down to 50% of the range.
Is that an important factor for price to go below 50% of the range or above? Is that
It's bro,
something
yeah,
you need
because it's the functions of the market. The algorithm has two functions, right? One, rebalance inefficiencies. I just put inefficiencies. Rebalance inefficiencies. And two, to sweep liquidity or deliver liquidity. Deliver or collect liquidity, whatever you want to say. Right? Because in the market, fair value gaps are inefficiencies, right? Price ranges are inefficiencies, premium and discount. And order blocks, breaker blocks, those are levels of inefficiencies too, to an extent. Not necessarily like the way a fair value gap is an inefficiency, but order blocks and fair value gaps, breaker blocks and order blocks and mitigation blocks, they have a lot of liquidity inside of them. Because it's price trading in one direction and then zapping the other way. So there's a lot of liquidity left in this area. So when we come down and read and track back into this area, you rebalance this level too, right? So what was your question again?
So, okay, if we talk about inefficiencies, right?
Yeah.
Like, does that necessarily
But
mean
okay.
price has to go beyond 50% to like go to the fair value gap?
Yeah. So the market has let me get rid of this. A marketplace. How does a marketplace function? Because this trading, this is digital. It's a digital market. It's still a marketplace. A marketplace, for it to be a marketplace, it has to offer a fair opportunity to both buyers and sellers. Otherwise, it's not a marketplace. Because logically, yeah, there has to be both buyers and sellers. Because if I go to sell an apple, somebody has to be willing to buy that apple. Otherwise, I can't sell it. And if I go to a market to buy an apple, somebody has to be selling an apple for me to buy it. Otherwise, there's no market for that anymore. So there has to be a fair opportunity to both buyers and sellers. So that's why there always needs to be rebalance of a price range. There always has to be, yeah, rebalancing price ranges. 50% always has to be met. The market itself is premium and discount, bro. That's why, and if you really think about it, if the market is all premium and discount, whenever we're in a buy program, we're always going to get a level of premium of discount before we move to premium. Whenever we're in a sell program, we are always going to get a level of premium before we get to discount. The best buys are from discount. The best sells are from premium. Now,
But you see with your previous indices example, right?
yeah,
When one pair might is stronger, so it doesn't go below 50%. The other pair does.
yeah,
How does that play into what you're saying now, where the algo has to always rebalance the range? If sometimes the range is.
it's divergence. It's divergence because it's the same thing with this. It's the same function with sweep and liquidity. It's still divergence because the market has still completed its function. But the thing is now one pair, because it's stronger, it's not going to do that sweep on liquidity. But when the other pair does make that sweep on liquidity, you know that liquidity has been collected or has been delivered. Like between ES and Nasdaq sweeping this high, we know that level has been delivered. But there's just underlying weakness on Nasdaq to get to that level.
So liquidity extends across different pairs that are correlated.
Yeah, the same thing with Euro USD here and GBP USD. This high divergence. So now if you're in GBP USD, you're not getting up here. This level's done. DXY took it out as well. This level's done. So for now, you're not getting up there again. So this is underlying weakness. This did not move near as much as what a Euro USD moved. Why? Because people don't know, bro. You have Euro GBP. This is Euro, the value of Euro against the value of the British pound. When when this is bullish, Euro is stronger than the pound. When this is bearish, the pound is stronger than Euro, or Euro is weaker than the pound. So whenever you're looking to trade Euro USD or GBP USD between the two, you really have to first consider, okay, if DXY is going long, I'm short on Euro and GU. But then you need to see Euro GBP too. If we're short on Euro and GU, we need to see that between Euro and the pound, who's weaker, because that's the one that's going to explode lower. Otherwise, you're going to stay stationary. You're not going to get, your what could have been like a 3-for-1 could end up being a 1-for-1, or even a break even. If you took the pair that was stronger in that case, right? Divergence matters. Like bro. If you're buying, you need to buy the stronger pair. If you're selling, you need to sell the weaker pair. And likewise here, bro. If the market is all premium and discount, why wouldn't I consider to use an OTE? If I've displaced away from a key level, yeah. So let's say this is a daily fair value gap. Now, what do I want to see in my trade? In the day, what do I want to see? I want to see sweep on liquidity. I want to see all these different things occurring, right? I want to see a divergence. Bro, when we get into this daily fair value gap, let's say there's a high here and a low here. Wait. We get into daily fair value gap, and then we displace. Now at this point, you're looking for a retracement to go higher, right? Because when you get into that daily fair value gap, intraday you want to see price displace away. So let's say this is the 5-minute time frame. You're looking for that MSS and then that retracement. Let's say like we get a 1 hour fair value gap. Let's say here is like a 1 hour fair value gap. Now what people are going to do, because let's say we've come into the next day and now we're waiting for that retracement. What people are going to do is they're going to wait for price to get to that fair value gap, and then on the 5-minute again they're going to wait for that 1 hour fair value gap. On the 5-minute again they're going to wait for another displacement away from it, and then get in from there with the stop loss over there. That's just useless. That's waiting for extra things to occur in the market. Because most of the time, when you get into that fair value gap, you're at OTE levels. When you get into this fair value gap, you're at OTE levels already. So the point is, what has confirmed the move higher for you already is the displacement already. You don't need another displacement on a lower time frame. When you've displaced away already, that is confirmation. You swept liquidity, you've respected a high time frame key level. You've already confirmed the move higher. You don't need more confirmation. By the time you tap there, you might not even get MSS. You might just shoot off. That's literally all you need. Because you've done the function of the market. You've offered a fair. You've done your sweeps and your displacements, and you're offering a fair trading opportunity. You're rebalancing premium discount ranges. Yeah, well, does that all make sense?
Kind of. Yeah, I guess I need to spend a lot more time on the charts than I used to.
Yeah.
That's what you're on. Also, one final question, bro, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
On EU, if you go out on like the 5-minute or 50-minute.
The which minute?
5-minute or 15-minute. One of those intraday time frames.
Yeah.
You like it doesn't follow the standard daily profile, right? Like there's no sweep of Asia's low, then a continuation into New York. Like London is
It does. This is Tuesday Asia session. Displacement. I think this is Tuesday low here. So look here now, right? Oh, but this is GBP USD. No, Euro USD, bro. Look, this was the previous daily low here. This was Tuesday. Now, look, this is across everything today, right? Today, everything just boomed off based off of the news. So you have to understand too that Asia can meet low of the day depending on, because you have a macro narrative. Because you have to remember, bro, the red folder news that you're usually waiting for can happen it can take place during the whole day, bro. When you have a circumstance like the US-Iran issue, it's a news driver for the whole day, bro. It's there. It's not on Forex Factory, but it's there. So a lot of the times Asia can make low of the day. But this is given that you have such a situation like the US-Iran issue. On a general day, bro, like this here. Here's Thursday, this is midnight. Sweep lower, we revert, right? We swept Asia lows, we reversed. London reverse, offers this retracement, we reverse again. And then from here, bro, again, It's just all OTE.
Is that one O2 down below?
This
You see the previous leg, is that?
don't really know. Yeah, that hits 0.62.
Okay.
It's all OTE. But you wanna wait for this New York OTE, this New York retracement, and then again, because this New York retracement, this is a confirmation of it just going higher, right? Like if you want that extra confirmation, New York OTE.
You know, like today's price action.
And then this again, look, right? Was it 4 hour? No, it was a 1 hour level. This is a 1 hour breaker block. Just retracement into there. So this is like a perfect OTE. This is a perfect OTE. What were you saying?
You see, today after Asia,
Yeah,
that shoot up because of the Iran news.
yeah.
If you scroll to that, if you scroll to right, just look here.
Here,
Can you expect price? Yeah, can you expect price to return there to rebalance, or is it just gone?
it can do, but it's like, look, every time you get a new high and low, you have a new price range. And then more so, the rebalances that you're looking for, bro. Like, look, this is one way delivery. This is back up. This is rebalance now.
But what time frame?
Like from here, look, you see this fair value gap. Tap in. This is rebalanced, and you probably have GBP USD coming down a bit lower into here anyway. Like, cause in the market, bro, there's one sec. In the market, there's breakaway gaps too, right? Like for example, this is a breakaway gap. There's always breakaway gaps too, like here too. This doesn't get retraced, but from here, bro, obviously you had a rebalance too. Whenever you see that rebalance, you just take it, bro. It's OTE, and these levels, bro. This was a weekly fair value gap. We tapped in again. Swept previous daily low, previous weekly low. Shut up. It doesn't all. It's not every single time. Like 10 times out of 10, that it's gonna come and rebalance a whole, like a whole massive price range. Like if we see that we have this weekly fair value gap, we know that price will tap in and then it can just reverse away from there. Right, it's a key level. So that weekly fair value gap is already rebalanced. Right, that inefficiency is rebalanced.
You don't rebalance below 50%, though, right? Like I understand on the higher time frames, like for example,
Yeah,
whatnot. Like, okay, you're gonna zoom into the lower time frame.
it did rebalance 50%.
Look for
From this low. Because remember, your price range is the low, the current low, to the current high. This is rebalanced anyway, 50%. It's not always from this low. It's gonna be the most recent low. So it's this low here, and this range was already rebalanced anyway here, 50%.
you have premium trading view.
No, not premium.
Okay. Okay. So say like imagine you see where that fair value gap is. The big one.
Which one? This one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like imagine you're in the live markets, right?
Yeah.
Would you not hope for like it to go a bit lower, like below that price range, like to at least 50% of that?
No, bro, because there's a weekly fair value gap here. There's a weekly fair value gap, and we swept previous weekly low. We know we can reverse away from here. I'm not waiting for this to come any lower. I'm waiting for price to reverse away from here and come up for these weekly highs here. Because when you sweep these levels, we know that we can now start reversing away.
Okay, so on the high time frames,
Yeah,
let's say you enter like a weekly or daily fair value gap for OB,
yeah,
you look for reversal signatures to like to let you know like okay is it actually gonna reverse from here? But say this chart was like an M5 or M15,
yeah.
but then so then what now? Like are you just gonna there's not really any lower time frame to look for reversal signatures. But how would you know if it's not gonna do
Your
like a fib?
reversal signatures here. So we tap in, we sweep, we tap in, we displace. So this is displace. This is displacement. When you have a displacement away from that key level, that's your confirmation. And now you're just waiting for a retracement to get an entry. Then obviously, bro, you have a breaker block, right? That's your confirmation.
Say you're on a lower time frame, right?
Yeah.
And price doesn't like rebalance the range. But how do you know if it's the right time to get entry or to wait for that particular range to be rebalanced?
Well, with this here, bro, you always get like 7 times out of 10, you always get a London to New York OTE. It always happens. It always retraces because you're FOMOing now. You're thinking, oh, we're not gonna come back here. Do you get it? But we have to. The breaker blocks left untouched. My entry is not never gonna be up here, but my entry every single time is gonna be at this level. It's a breaker block that we did not retrace. So I'm waiting for that to come back. If it doesn't get there, I'm not entering the market. Simple as. If my level was not met, I have no entry in the market. That's the way it works. If my level is not met, there's no entry for me in the market. There's no opportunity for me to enter the market. If I enter without my level being met, I'm just jeopardizing myself. Because what am I going to do? Am I going to enter all the way up here, bro? Then my stop loss is going to be like this. Oh, you know it's coming lower. Then what am I going to do? Am I going to start extending my stop loss lower and increasing my risk? Do you know what I mean? Like you can just go so left. Just wait for that level to be met. It always, bro. Look, 7 times out of 10, it always comes back to the level. 7 times out of 10. So just wait for it to come back to the level. If it doesn't come back to the level, it doesn't mean you're missing out. It means that there's no entry for you in the market. And that's part of trading. That's part of trading. You have to accept that it's part of trading. You're not always gonna like. There's been times where we just got wicked out, and it's reversed to a TP. It's part of trading.
Okay, so you're waiting for your New York OTE, right?
Yeah.
Like imagine OTE you have now is New York, but in London, like it doesn't rebalance fully. How can you be confident that your New York OTE is gonna hold and not just like keep that London low to rebalance London?
OTE, but OTE is always gonna be from the recent low, regardless of anything.
Yeah, but would you still put the OTE if the previous range hasn't rebalanced?
Bro, that doesn't need to be rebalanced. Like if there's a fair value gap there or something to that extent, and it taps in and it goes away, it doesn't need to come back down there because that level's already rebalanced. Like you don't need to go like super intricate on you know rebalancing 50% of price ranges.
And my main concern is I don't want to like to get entry but then because there's a previous unbalanced range where there's extra liquidity
Yeah.
that just gets swept out and then price goes in a direction.
You know what it is, but you need to you need to demo trade and do FX replay. Because the more you see it, the more you kind of figure out of what to expect. Like a lot of trading comes from experience and practice.
Yeah. جزاك الله خير عمرو.
But do you know what FX replay is?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, just make an account with them, bro, and do some back testing. Like, try to catch some moves. But yeah, I don't really know the way that you trade here. So. But I'm making some videos and whatnot.